little not okay. There's a difference between being unclean and unkempt. I would wear a hat, but I'm just like, too hot already for a hat. I'm going to be uh, doing, I guess, spa-like treatments to my hair later today. But right now, I'm running errands. So if my hair looks a little wild, that's why I'm not wearing makeup right now. I was about to say, no, I'm not clean, honey. I sure did take a shower this morning. I'm just a little without the makeups. Alrighty, so colonists, they are stealing from you openly, y'all. They meaning these media companies. And I started a live earlier today before I got here to the farmer's market. Now that I'm finished shopping at the farmer's market on my way somewhere else, running errands on this day, lovely warm day. And I just want to again say what I said earlier, but maybe in a different way. I'm I'm a musician. I'm a trained musician, but even with all of that being said, I'm also I'm not an expert at the music industry or music business. However, I do know my rights as a copyright owner. Okay? That's where I think a lot of people don't either bother or understand what all of that means and what your rights are, and how some corporations right now, or I don't want to say corporations, how it seems like a tech bubble that's about to start growing and maybe burst, I hope, um, fooling a lot of people when it comes to their property. Okay? They are stealing your property. So maybe if I say it like that, people will understand. Your intellectual property. That means if you drew a picture, if you wrote a song, if you choreographed a dance, and you got it, I hope, registered, because it is automatically copyrighted, but you do need some kind of proof that you are the originator. Okay? When it came to popular entertainment in the last 70, 80 years now at this point, I don't know, since recording has been popular, there have been people who will steal from you, steal from others. And there are whole industries or whole genres of music that's all they do. And I'm sorry, maybe that's gonna make some people mad, but the whole idea of sampling, that's a form of taking things. You know, when rap started early on, yeah, they were just lifting people's recordings, and they've made concessions. They made ways for it to be done legally now. But basically, that's like a form of just taking somebody else's work and benefiting from it. Like there's whole like people are teaching people to do that now. It's like, in order to be popular, you need to copy somebody else, or you need to sample some clips from somebody else's work. And I don't want to go too deep into that. That could be its own discussion right now. But what I'm really trying to get at is a lot of the tech bros are trying to benefit from the fact that there is now a culture of people just taking other people's work without any consequences happening. Piracy, right? And I'm not saying what they're trying to do to you is piracy. It's almost like they're taking the fact that you don't know any better and using it against you. If you don't read the terms of service of some of these apps that you put on your phone, and I'm talking about social media, I'm talking about image creators, I'm talking about music creations, through any means, not even just AI. So I'm not just throwing AI under the bus, it's any of them. If you're not reading the terms of service, and now AI just makes things a lot easier for people to take from other people and make it theirs. Okay? Because earlier, my video earlier was, I was basically saying AI, and this is what it is. All it is machine learning, and a language learning mechanism machine. And it only does what you teach it to do, basically computers. If it does not have its own like set of material to learn from, people give it something to learn from and regurgitate it. And I was giving the analogy of eggs. So if you have 3 eggs and you mix them all up together and you fry it or whatever you do with it, scramble it, chop it up, it's still eggs. Okay, it has not been changed into anything else. It's just been chopped up, mixed up, chopped up, and it's still eggs. Yeah, it might be cooked, but it's still eggs. You can still tell it's eggs. And people who don't read those terms of service when it comes to, I guess, making, I don't like using the word making content because, again, I said in the other video this morning, I cannot call myself a content creator. I'm a musician. I make music, okay? Content creator. Come on. That sounds like tech bro jargon. We gotta let all of that go, friends. The sooner we kind of let some of that go, because they're teaching us to basically give them something to work with for their little machines. You're doing the heavy lifting for them. Like, yeah, it's like, let me give you another model, another analogy to think about. If you've ever rented a venue for, say, like a wedding or a graduation party, and all they're doing, the people at the venue, they're just providing you the space. You got to bring all the stuff, okay? And they make the money off of you, being there, providing the stuff for the people for entertainment purposes. All they did was provide the space. And again, this is what social media is at this point now. This is what some AI is trying to be like, where they're providing the tool, but you're going to give them what they want, and then they're going to use their terms of service to claim your stuff for their benefit. That's what's going to happen. That's what is happening right now. So if you are a writer, if you are a visual artist, if you are a musician, and you are using some of these apps right now, especially the ones that are AI driven, and they're claiming that you can make all this stuff. Let me go, after I say this, I'm going to say something else too. Make sure you've read those terms of service, because they're using your original ideas, your original creations to teach its machine, and you won't legally have a right to complain about it because it says it in the terms of service. You're giving them something that they can benefit from and you don't, especially if you're if you're paying them on top of that. That's crazy pants. No. Please don't do that, y'all. Okay? Please read those terms of service. And then now I'm going to tell you the other part. So what's happening on the other end? Even the fact that I try not to say this company's name because they're pushing hard, y'all. They're pushing real hard. Let me just tell you. If you are going to try to use Suno or Udio, and they tell you that you cannot copyright their music, is because it's already copyrighted. You can't make an original song from Suno or Udio because that music is already copyrighted because they stole it. Okay? That's number one. So if you think you're going to use Suno and make your own music and put it out into the world, that's not going to happen the way that you would like for it to happen. It will not. Okay? You cannot copyright that music because it's already copyrighted. And because it's already copyrighted, most of it, let me go back to the scrambled eggs example. Most of it is copyrighted in major label music. Now, it's not all of it, because there are some independents like myself who they also stole from Suno and Udio. They also stole from, and it's already been said in court. So I'm not going to be in any trouble because yes, they have admitted to stealing this from the internet, just scraping stuff from the internet. So if your music has been out there, I'll just say, let's give us 2020. So if you were making music and putting it out on the internet up until 2020, they basically stole from you, okay? Because they went and scraped the internet. They scraped, all the areas that they could get easy access to, like YouTube and Spotify mostly. But yeah, so they basically stole your music. And then they taught their machines, and I'm talking about Suno and Udio. They taught their machines how to make music based on your music. And they tried to claim fair use because they were like, oh, we're teaching, because that's a part of the law of fair use. But, okay, there's that. But then you turn around and charge people? That is called theft. You can't charge somebody to make something based off of somebody else's stolen work. Okay? Let me extend the analogy. Is now you going to the store to buy, or a restaurant or a cafe buying some scrambled eggs to eat. Or you need some scrambled eggs for, I don't know, like a veggie wrap or something. And they are providing you with scrambled eggs. And you want to now use those scrambled eggs for your veggie wrap that you want to go sell to somebody. No, somebody's eggs made that. And they stole them. And they turned them into scrambled eggs. And they sold you scrambled eggs. So that you think that you're going to make a veggie wrap with those scrambled eggs to sell to somebody else. But the eggs were stolen. The eggs were stolen. So I don't know if that helps a lot of people to understand what's happening. And now because the eggs are stolen, and this company is now selling scrambled eggs to people, Suno, they can charge for the scrambled eggs, but you got to eat them right there. You can't make a veggie wrap with those scrambled eggs. You can't add bacon to those scrambled eggs and decide that you want to now turn it into something else, like a salad or something. I don't know. You can't do it. You're not allowed now because the eggs were stolen. Okay? But they're also not telling their people who are buying their scrambled eggs, they're not telling people that the reason also why they might have put it up on the website. Like I did have an account, like I probably need to make sure it's closed now because I was peeking around there at first, but then I realized it's like, this is kind of not that great. It's not great at all because I'm a musician. I can make my own music. It's like, why do I have to work this extra hard when I can just go pick up my guitar and just write? Okay. Yeah, so I don't know if they've told the people what's really going on as to why they cannot use this copyrighted material for their own work because it's already copyrighted. They might put up a little window as soon as you go. You know how like when you enter into a website and you log in and all that stuff and they put up some news or whatever. They probably did that. They probably did. But, did people read it? I don't know. Who knows? And, somebody's going to make a song, right? Yeah, make a song. I don't even know. I don't like when people say make a song. When somebody makes a song, in this case, it is a making of a song. So when they make a song and it spits it out, they're going to try to put it up on the internet. They're going to try to put it up on YouTube. YouTube's probably, I don't know. Now, this is where I'm speculating based on if I were one of these major labels. Because I now have sued Suno and Udio for copyright infringement. And we are now partnered up. So if I'm like a major label, this is how I would operate. So because I'm losing money already, even before AI. And AI stole even again from us, along with the independent people. But I'm looking out for me because I'm a major label. So if I were a major label, this is what I would do after I've made partnerships now with these AI companies. I already have, as a major label, software that can detect if somebody is using our copyrighted material. That's why a lot of people, especially on YouTube, if you get a copyright strike, that's what that is. YouTube does not want any smoke with the major labels. So they know if you're using somebody else's work, okay, without permission. They know. If you don't get it cleared and you don't know what I'm talking about, like, that's where, again, you have to start learning this. But if you don't get it cleared, if I was an evil major label, which some of them kind of are, I would let those people put this stuff on the internet, but I would retain the rights to it. I wouldn't make them take it down, because now they can't copyright it anyway because it's my copyright, or my catalog or whatever. And that's why right now people like Justin Bieber are right now selling their catalogs. That is the hot ticket right now. That's the hot money. That's the money right now. Getting the IP, the intellectual property, as I said earlier. Okay, so the train is here, so we're gonna be here for a minute. That is the hot item right now. Intellectual property. These major labels will let you probably make a song from Suno and put it up on the internet. They will claim the rights from it because they own the copyrights. That's why you can't copyright it. And let me go back to my egg analogy. So eggs were stolen. These AI companies stole the eggs and made scrambled eggs with them. They sell them to you, regular person, so you can make like a veggie wrap with it. And you go sell the veggie wraps, but then now you got to pay the major labels because those eggs were not the AI's company's right to sell. You now must pay to sell the veggie wraps. So you bought the eggs, the scrambled eggs, you made your veggie wrap with it, you sell your veggie wrap, and now the record company is saying, hey, yeah, you owe me this money because you're using my eggs. That's what's happening. And that's what's probably going to happen. I can't think of any other in out of that. Like, to me, these major it's lucrative. They've even started getting some people who work for major labels to come and work for these AI companies. They're going to basically turn themselves into another, how can I say this? The fact that people don't know this, you're now operating like a radio station. You're going to just be broadcasting out these new creations to the world. People are going to see it, watch it, whatever, on your social medias and all the things. But you won't make any money from it. Not from that music. Maybe from, I don't know, maybe from your video if you do something else around that. But the music itself can make money. And a lot of people don't know that. Especially if you're a musician. I'll just say, if you are strictly a musician and you make music, you write music, and you think that you're going to put your music out there on the interwebs using Suno or Udio, it's not going to turn out the way that you would like it to turn out. Okay? You are advertising, you're basically making money for these labels now, even though you're not signed at all. In fact, you're paying them now. That's crazy sick, but that's basically, if I were to be on a lot of those committees and teams and stuff, that's how it's going to work, because that's how copyright works. Like, you can collect from your music being broadcast out into the world. Okay? And a lot of people don't realize that. So people just think, oh, it's just through, streaming sales and all this other stuff. Spotify, it gives you slivers of a penny. I don't depend on them, no way. But there are other ways to collect your revenue as a musician. And a lot of people don't know that your original work, if you sign up to the PROs, like BMI or ASCAP or CSAP, or however you say it, you can get money from them if your music is being broadcast out there into the world, but not if you don't have the copyright, honey. And that's, again, back to what I was saying before. If you don't have the copyright, if you don't own the copyright, you can't do any of that. And if somebody else owns the copyright and you still send it out there to the world, they're getting the money. They will be getting the money. The copyright owners and the publishers. Okay? Let me say something else that's even more, just as insidious, if not worse. Okay, I'm going to go. If you are a lyricist and you wrote your own original lyrics to these works and you popped it into Suno, they now have your original work, and they're going to claim it too. And they're going to use it for anybody who does not write their own original work. So if you wrote your own original lyrics about, let me see what I'm looking at right now, about a laundromat called Mr. Bubbles, right? So you wrote your own lyrics about a laundromat called Mr. Bubbles, and you spit it into Suno. Suno now owns those words too, because you, in the terms of service, said it's okay to use my stuff, and somebody else can use it too, and you're paying them. Yeah. And they're banking on each one of these people who are signing up for these services to not read those terms of service. I don't know how many times I got to say it until people start realizing what's happening. They know these big media companies right now, they're in a war, in a battle for intellectual property right now. They're trying to buy up catalogs. They're looking to get production companies. They're looking to get all kinds of things. What was the last thing that was going on right now? Netflix was trying to buy something. I think Warner Brothers got it. Paramount is trying to get some things. So they are battling right now to get the intellectual property. They're just the studio. They're just the means to send it out to the people. But if they can control it and have copyright ownership to it and whatever else kind of service they can provide, they're going to be the ones making the money from it. Okay? I feel like I should have some kind of copyright class for people, because it's more than just music, y'all. It's anything that you have created, and it's your original creation. I would not, even though right now a lot of people are saying if you build in public, it helps. It kind of helps, but it also, I would be public but semi-public. That's kind of where I feel like I'm going to go in this. Public but semi-public. Just like a modern day troubadour, I'm not going to try to build in public with 1 million followers, because that to me leaves yourself open for somebody to steal your stuff, steal pieces of your stuff, and you can't keep up with it. If you have something like, I don't know, paid membership, that's a little different. And again, you can have your own terms of service, that kind of thing. I feel like that could work. But it's definitely people out here who really, how can I say this? They don't understand the energy it takes to create something when they can just basically pull from you, steal from you, and then benefit. Now with artificial intelligence, it's getting easier for people to do that. But there's still hope for a lot of us who still can and make a living from our creative work. Okay? So I feel like one of the first things that a lot of people need to know is to understand copyright. Understand what it means, and understand your rights around it, and what you could and should be doing, especially if you're a musician, before you put anything out into public spaces. Because even if this is also, it's kind of funny but not funny. I should do yet another video about this, because what I just described to you about what I feel like these major labels are going to do to these poor, sad people who pay Suno to make them a song, they cannot copyright it, and they cannot collect any royalties from it. And that's, the other word, I guess, if you didn't know, they can't collect royalties from it. And then you gave them, I'll say this, friends, even if you wrote some sound and you thought you're going to put it in the Suno, they own all of that. It says it in the terms of service. Anything you give Suno, they say now, oh, thanks, I get to keep this, and I get to, share it with everybody else. And if it comes out into the world, mixed up with, say, like somebody like Jonas Brothers, mixed in with Jonas Brothers stuff, guess what? Who gets the money? Whoever owns the copyright to the Jonas Brothers music, even if it's not the Jonas Brothers. So don't blame them. Whoever owns their catalog, they're getting the money, not you. If you're gonna make a song about onion rings, and you say, hey, I want it to kind of sound like the Bop song or whatever, and then it comes out some kind of way like that, and you had words about onion rings, whoever owns the catalog that has the Jonas Brothers song in it, they're getting that money. They're going to get your money. That's what's going to happen. Not you. And you're paying them. Okay? That's what's going to happen. That is what's happening. Okay, so it is, oh my gosh, already Atlanta with their Saturday, what you will call it? Traffic jams. Saturday traffic jams, I'll tell you. I'm going to leave you with this. So, you're starting to see influencers or musicians out there advertising to use Suno. They're getting paid. Some of them are telling the truth. Some are being offered. I don't think I'll be offered anything, quite honestly, because I don't have a big enough numbers on my social media, even though I've been making music for 20 years. I just, haven't built up my social media enough for them to pay attention, for Suno to be like, here's a check for $2,000. Tell the people they should use Suno. Okay, because that's kind of what, from what I saw, because I saw some things. They're offering some of these musicians like $2,000, $5,000 to launch y'all. Okay, there's that too. So if you see a musician or a producer or some kind of like beat maker or whatever talking about use Suno, they've been paid by Suno. Okay? They're legally, especially if they're on YouTube, they're legally supposed to tell you that they are being sponsored or doing all the things, but sometimes they're not telling y'all that. So, but I'm telling you, seriously, look up Suno's court cases in the last year or so. They've settled with Warner Brothers. Udio settled with Universal. Universal and Udio are trying to build a model of you can only use their music there and you cannot send it out and do anything with it. Like, you got to use it there, right? So, yeah. Oh, goodness. So yeah, maybe I should make an easy breezy copyright course for people to understand, because that is going to be a major issue in the next few months to year or so. And people are going to be so upset when they start to realize, like, wait a minute, I can't collect royalties from this. Yeah, I kept saying that because Suno stole from people. You can't copyright something that's already copyrighted. They took copyrighted stolen material from other people, but yet they're valued at $1 billion, these companies. And then if you're unaware enough to actually like pay a subscription to them, you're paying them for the privilege of giving you stolen eggs scrambled up together. Okay, with that, I'm gonna say take care. Have a good one. Be careful out there. Don't be using those scrambled eggs. They're stolen.